Welcome to the BBQ Pros YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the ProQ Amigo entry-level smoker. This smoker is basically made up of two tiers. It has a dome-shaped lid with a thermometer which is located in the top. We also have two chrome-plated cooking grates, charcoal separators, charcoal grate, charcoal pan and water pan. The main aim of today's video is just to talk you through the assembly of this little unit. It's very simple to do. There's literally 3 legs, 3 handles and an assortment of screws. All we basically need to do when we first start with the assembly is locate where the legs go and into which stacker they're going to be used for. Now the easiest way to do this is to take a look at the stackers themselves. If we turn the stackers and take a look at the front, we'll find that there are 2 holes horizontally and we also have 2 vertical holes on the bottom stacker. These are a good indication as to which components will fit where on the stacker unit. If we look at the leg, on the leg unit we have 2 holes, we have a recessed slot, and with the handles we also have 2 holes and a wooden handle component part. And if we line those up, they fit perfectly. So, what tools do we need for this particular job? Well, we've spoken to Ian down at Max Barbecue and he's assured us all we'll need is an 8mm socket or an adjustable type spanner and a Phillips screwdriver or a flathead. So, we'll make a little bit of space and we'll start with the assembly. The first part I'm going to assemble will be the base. All we effectively need to do here is locate the legs and get them installed and tightened up. So I'm going to sit this on its side. I'm taking one of the legs and 2 of the screws. I'm going to locate these on the actual base stacker itself. Now if you look at the base stacker, there's a rimmed part where the metal has been rolled as part of the factory press. Now when the manufacturing process takes place, this rimmed part will effectively form part of the leg assembly, and what we need to make sure is that the grooved part of the leg fits inside that rolled part of the base. So once that's in, we can line these up nice and neatly and drop in a screw. Once the screw's in place, you pop on the nut, and there we have the first one. Okay, so all I'm literally going to do now is just tighten this up using my 8mm socket and a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, and that's the first leg assembled. It's nice and tight. We'll just roll it round. base assembled, and as you can see, that's a very straightforward, simple process. Literally 6 nuts and bolts with 6 washers. On the base itself, you can see we have the door, and this door provides access to the charcoal grate, which is located on the tops of the legs that we've just assembled. Okay, so once we've identified which pan we're going to use for the charcoal grate, the water pan, we literally locate these on the tops of the legs, and that provides us with a firm platform for the charcoal, and it also allows us access from the front door. The next option that we have to do is install the charcoal grate. This charcoal grate fits into the centre of the pan, and it basically allows an airflow underneath the coals so that the coals can burn consistently and evenly. If you find that you've come to cook this and you've still got some ash and charcoal deposits left in there from the previous cook, make sure you clean those out, otherwise it will restrict the airflow and it will affect your cooking temperatures. Okay, just to touch on the other options that we get with this unit, we have charcoal separators. Now with these charcoal separators, it basically allows us to cook indirectly. Now with these charcoal separators, we basically locate them in the actual charcoal pan itself, but we sit it on the grate. So sitting the pan on the grate, the charcoal separators, gives us 2 effective zones. Now with these zones, we're in a position to heat the charcoal on either side of the pan and effectively have a cool spot in the middle. The cool spot is what we would call the indirect area. The hot charcoals create heat from the sides, and it comes up through the side of the pan. Now this tends to be used if we're cooking things like a beer can chicken, or we want a cool zone for cooking burgers and that kind of thing. We can cook them on the outside and then just move them to the centre. It's brilliant for chicken wings, that kind of thing. Just because you have 2 of the separators doesn't necessarily mean you have to use them both. You can take one out and use charcoal separator a little bit further back, so you've just got a 2-zone fire. You've got heat just to the left and you've got a nice cooking area to the right. They're a useful aid, but they're not always used. Certainly in smoking, we would literally use the entire area within the charcoal pan to heat the charcoal. Okay, so I'll put these to one side. The next part of the assembly is locating the handles. Now the handles are situated either side of the stacking unit, and also one on the top of the lid. Now depending on who you talk to will depend on what their opinions are of handles. Some people prefer them not to have handles. Some barbecue companies think that they promote people to move the barbecue when it's lit, and therefore they would choose not to have them. Safety is of the essence really with these things. You need to be aware that if you are going to move the barbecue, it should be cold, it should be done safely, and certainly try not to locate the barbecue in such a place that the handles can be caught while it's on. Okay, now this unit has protruding handles. The later models such as the ProQ XL or the Frontier have little handles that fold down. Now one thing to be aware of with the handles is that all of the units themselves will have handles located on the stacker units. This makes moving the stackers on and off much more simple. I personally much prefer to have these handles on the unit. It helps me tremendously just when I'm just sweeping the yard. If I'm just moving things around, I just want to have a handle that I can literally grab, move, and then I don't have to worry about bear hugging the unit. because these units all stack and latch together, they're all lockable independent units, it makes moving these things much easier.